Welcome to Daily Drive for Wednesday, February 11th, 2026. I'm Kellen Walker in Las Vegas. Today on the show, Ford posts an $11 billion net loss, its biggest since the Great Recession. Honda has a new leader for its critical U.S. operations, and auto industry leaders say President Trump's threat to delay the Gordie Howe Bridge is adding unwanted uncertainty. Plus, Brian MacDonald, CEO of CDK Global, joins the show to talk about how AI is moving beyond answering phones to delivering real insights for dealers.
Artificial intelligence without data is just artificial, and nobody has more data than CDK.
Let's run through all the news you need to know to keep up in the auto industry. Ford posted an $11.1 billion net loss in the fourth quarter. That's its worst financial performance since 2008. The automaker lost $8.2 billion for the full year, driven by EV write-downs and $2 billion in tariff costs. That tariff bill roughly doubled Ford's previous projection, after a late-year change by the Trump administration eliminated offsets Ford had planned to claim. An October fire at aluminum supplier Novelis also hampered F-Series production, costing Ford an estimated $2 billion, though the company expects to recover half of that by boosting output this year. Despite the rough quarter, Ford projects adjusted earnings of $8 to $10 billion in 2026. We'll have more on the story in a minute with our own Michael Martinez. Honda is tapping CFO Eiji Fujimura to lead American Honda starting April 1st. Fujimura takes over from Kazuhiro Takezawa amid affordability concerns, tariff costs, and a dramatic EV pivot. Honda slashed its 2030 global EV target from 2 million vehicles to just 700,000 to 750,000. It also cut Prologue production by half. The company absorbed a $1.8 billion tariff hit last year, but aims for modest 4% U.S. sales growth in 2026. And auto industry leaders say President Trump's threat to delay the Gordie Howe International Bridge is adding unwanted uncertainty to investment decisions. Glenn Stevens is executive director of Mish Auto in Detroit. He says the threat adds another layer of uncertainty for companies moving parts between the U.S. and Canada.
We are all pointing towards this bridge being an enabler in a variety of different ways. So I think calmer heads will prevail and we'll get there. But it is a new wrinkle and it does provide more uncertainty, which the businesses in our industry do not need.
Canada and the United States are in the thick of trade negotiations related not only to tariffs rolled out by Trump early last year, but also a joint review of the USMCA trade deal scheduled to begin officially in July. Now let's dig deeper into that Ford story. Joining me is Michael Martinez, who covers Ford for us at Automotive News. You'll also hear him most weeks on our Weekend Drive edition of the show. Mike, welcome back to Daily Drive.
Hey, Kel.
All right, Mike. So an $11 billion loss is staggering. Walk us through what went wrong here beyond just the EV write-downs. How much of this was Ford's own strategic missteps versus external factors they couldn't control?
Yeah, that's a really good sort of philosophical question we could get into. How much of this is actually Ford's fault? You can argue a lot of it isn't, right? They had $2 billion worth of tariff costs that were largely out of their control, given what President Trump did over the past year. They had a couple $1 billion worth of costs because of the Novelis fire in October that cut their aluminum supply for the F-150. Nobody could have saw that coming, right? And they've had to react to that. And then even when it comes to EVs, you could make the argument that some of that was outside of their control, the rollback in federal policy, sort of changing consumer demand. But at the end of the day, you do have to give them some of the blame for missing the market, particularly with the F-150 Lightning. Yes, it was the number one best-selling full-size EV pickup, but the customers just didn't like the range when it came to towing and hauling. It couldn't do truck things. And, they didn't quite understand their truck customers, and they were supposed to. Built Ford tough. Ford trucks, number one sellers year in and year out. They should know the customers, and maybe they didn't realize it there. So definitely cost them this year. This is the third worst financial performance ever in the company's history.
Wow. Well, despite this massive loss, Ford is projecting 8 to 10 billion in adjusted earnings for 2026. That's a pretty optimistic outlook. What gives them confidence they can turn this around so quickly? And is that realistic given the tariff environment we're in?
Well, they said the tariff costs are going to be about flat year over year. So they're still dealing with about $2 billion worth of tariff costs. But just the fact that they're not going to be writing down all these EV charges, they think they've set themselves up well for the future. Because when you look at it, last year, another factor in all this, they got rid of the Escape. We've talked a lot about that entry level, not profitable vehicle for them. They are replacing it, even though some dealers don't like it. They're getting customers into higher priced models, more profitable models. That's making them more money. You look at the mix of powertrains now that all these EV regulations have been rolled back, different penalties for gas vehicles and diesel vehicles have been lifted. So Ford can build more Raptors, they can build more Broncos and F-150s and Mustangs, and that will make them more money. And then on the EV side, they think their losses will continue to go down. They think they have a plan for profits on EVs by 2029. And they think this small, affordable segment will do a heck of a lot better than the Lightning and the Mustang Mach-E have done.
Perfect. Mike Martinez, always, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Coming up next, CDK Global CEO Brian MacDonald talks about how the company is using 900 million repair orders and AI to deliver real insights to dealers. That's next on Daily Drive.
Are you a dealer creating a workplace culture your employees are proud to be part of? Applications are now open for the 2026 Automotive News Best Dealerships to Work For program. This isn't just an award, it's a chance to get real insight into what's working at your dealership and where you can improve. And we've expanded the categories this year, recognizing everything from technician experience and leadership development to AI enablement and employee retention. The registration deadline is April 17th. Find out more and apply at autonews.com.
Welcome back to Daily Drive. I'm Kellen Walker. Artificial intelligence has been the talk of the dealer world, from answering phones to scheduling service appointments. But the leader of CDK Global says the industry is entering a new phase. CEO Brian MacDonald caught up with our own Mark Homer at the NADA show in Las Vegas last week. Here's their conversation.
Brian, thanks for joining us. Glad you're here. When did you get to NADA? Have you been here for a couple of days already?
Yeah, I came in. It's great to be with you, Mark, as always. I came in on a little bit later Monday evening, so it's much nicer than where we were last year in New Orleans, which we basically got snowed out. So it's really great to have everybody here and lots of energy. It's a really great show. So
good. Now, what are you hoping to accomplish this year?
Well, we're always here to see our customers and showcase our investments, the benefits of our investments. CDK over the last few years has invested more than $500 million in our technology and our products. And we have modern technology, modern products. And I know we're going to talk a little bit about AI. We've got built-in AI instead of bolt-on AI. And so there's a lot of things to show at CDK for our dealers this year, a lot of value.
I think it's coming at a crucial time. There's been talk that a lot of impressive AI tools have come out, but they haven't necessarily maximized yet, just across the industry. So is this the year where they become more practical in how they're used? And if so, how and why?
So I've been saying for quite some time, Mark, that artificial intelligence without data is just artificial. And nobody has more data than CDK. We have a modern data platform and data engine, and that allows us to bring AI use cases with our data to real life. So if we went back a year ago, I would say a lot of dealers are coming to the show with AI on their mind. What do I need to know? What should I be using AI for? And over the last year, what I would say the first level use cases, answering the phone, scheduling a service appointment, have largely taken hold across the industry. We have those products, and I think now we're moving into the next phase. I would just call it level 2 AI, which is where you take rich data and you get insights to bring value to dealers. And I think that's the level 2, and that's where I think the AI can be really useful to the industry and the dealers, is how do you take a company like CDK, how does CDK take the fact that we have 900 million, I'll say it again, 900 million repair orders in our system.
Really?
And then we can take those repair orders and use artificial intelligence and machine learning and bring insights to dealers when a customer schedules a service appointment, when a technician is looking at a job, and all of these things, doing a warranty claim, etc. And that's the next level of AI. I think we're kind of quickly moving past schedule an appointment and answer the phone. We're moving to, okay, who has the data? What can they do with that data to bring insights to the customer?
Is it hard to get enough data and the right data? Because there's talk that to maximize AI with data, you have to make sure your data source is current and there aren't duplications, and that it's where it should be in terms of currency. So how do you make sure that happens?
So CDK has been around a long time, and we serve a lot of great dealers. So we have a lot of data, and we have a modern technology platform that we've invested in over the last few years. So you combine really market-rich data with modern technology,
okay,
and that's where you can bring the AI to life. So, for example, we announced this week that we're giving dealers a free CDP. That's a customer data platform. And so we took all of the records of CDK customer interactions over a long period of time, over 1.3 billion records, and we basically used AI and our new data engine to combine that down to identify approximately 257 million unique car buyers in America.
Oh.
So if you think about the population of America, that's 90+% of all car buyers in America have had an interaction with CDK. They bought a car at a CDK dealership. They had their car serviced at a CDK dealership. They shopped for a car in the CDK CRM. So the fact that we could take all of that data, which we have, leverage the new technology that we have to create a unique view of 257 million car buyers is really special. And then we can bring that to life with our customers through our CDP platform.
All of that is great and exciting and forward, but dealers and dealerships have been more conservative about adapting technology forever. And they haven't always embraced AI. They've been wary about some of it. Like generative AI had the hallucinations where it worked and then sometimes it would do something funky and they cause problems. So with all of the advances that you've made, how do you convince dealers, and also do you see dealers being convinced successfully?
Certainly, look, dealers are super interested in how to better use AI. AI is really not, a means to replace people. I heard the term this morning, which I thought was good, that artificial intelligence is really assisted intelligence or aided intelligence.
Sure.
Because in our business, you still need the people. It's still a people business, still a relationship business. We sell cars to human beings. We don't sell cars to AI agents, right? So we need human beings to sell to human beings and human beings to service human beings. And so I think dealers certainly have the interest, and the way to show them the value is the way to show them the use cases and how to use AI is to show them the value, show them the pickup in appointments, show them the efficiency for calls. For example, with our 900 million repair orders.
I can't believe that number.
Yeah, I know. I didn't believe it the first time I heard it either. But with our 900 million repair orders, we're able to take a complaint from a customer that the customer, puts into the AI scheduler, and then we run that against all of our repair orders. So when you walk in with your car and you've made this complaint, the technician can see, generated by AI, here's some things it could be, because we can see the issue across all these repair orders. And then we can give the technician suggested repairs, We can tell the technician that maybe it's a warranty claim, maybe it's not. And so this is places where dealers go, I just had a meeting, 5 minutes ago where the dealer goes, well, that's really interesting. Like my technician is still going to make the decision of what to do,
Sure.
but this is assistant intelligence to help the technicians be more efficient and more accurate.
These things are impressive. I mean, you can't argue with the advances that are being made, that they're impressive. But you've invested gobs of money to make that, and it's not cheap to get there. Is this expensive for dealerships?
I mean, look, our CDP that we talked about with the 257 million unique users, that's free to our dealers.
Sure.
If you have our dealership experience platform, that's free to you. And so that's the value that we bring to dealers, the value of our technology investments. And so, look, there are costs for some things. I do think a lot of the level 1 AI features that we talked about, I think over time, like very quickly, they're becoming foundational.
Sure.
It's like the old days when we first had IVR on the telephone call, the interactive, press 1 for your bank balance, press 2. These things quickly become foundational expectations that this have to be in the base products. And I think all of the products that and services that we bring to dealers, over the next few years, will have to have AI components to them to be successful. That's just going to be the expectation of the market. And at CDK, our philosophy is we have our AI is built in, it's not bolt on. And we really believe that AI should be embedded in the products and services.
Sure.
And not a bolt on solution.
So when is AI truly part of that whole process? Does it mean that it has to be part of the background and you don't think about it very much?
I would say that if you think about the adoption of smartphones, okay, and people initially thought like smartphones would be like a young person's game, but very quickly demographics didn't matter, age didn't matter. People
Sure.
were widely adopted smartphones much, much faster in our personal lives and in our business lives. And I think if you look at the growth of large language models, whether it's Gemini, ChatGPT,
Sure.
anybody that uses the internet today, which is virtually everybody, is using some form of AI for their searches and whatnot. Translate that to our jobs.
Yeah.
Everybody is going to want to use some form of AI to assist their jobs. The companies want to do it. The employees want to do it. I mean, I use AI for my job probably 10 times a day.
I use some tools myself.
To your question, AI is just going to be an expectation. It's going to have to be in everything. If you have the data, it's going to provide a lot of value. And if it's built in, it's going to provide value.
Anything else you want to add about what's to come in 2026?
Well, one of the things I'm super excited about in CDK, we just launched a new warranty recovery assistance product. We call it WRAP, W-R-A-P.
Sure.
We launched it 30 days ago.
Okay.
We've saved dealers over $30 million in 30 days for about 130 rooftops. We have a couple hundred dealers coming in to see us today and tomorrow.
Sure.
Where we got another, well over another $100 million or well over another $30 million of opportunity for dealers for warranty recovery. And so that is another example of CDK using its investment, using its data, and bringing tangible value to dealers. And so we're super excited about that and a number of the other innovations we have to show our customers.
That's Daily Drive for today. I'm Kellen Walker. Thanks to Automotive News executive producer Jake Neer, as well as our own Michael Martinez and Urvash Kakaria for their reporting for today's podcast. We also have reporting from Kurt Nagel of our sibling publication, Crane's Detroit Business. You can get the latest news on retail technology, earnings results, and everything happening in the auto industry at autonews.com. Come back tomorrow for a conversation with Windsor, Ontario Mayor Drew Dilkins about President Trump's threat to stop the opening of the Gordie Howe International Bridge. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know what you think of the show and the topics we covered today. Send us an email at dailydrive@autonews.com or leave us a voicemail at 313-444-2774. And if you enjoyed the podcast, remember to like, leave a review, and subscribe so you never miss an episode.